or affirmation. I willingly choose into alignment with what the universe desires to experience through me. God, I love that. I willingly choose into alignment with what the universe desires to experience through me. And now, Vienna, Jasmin.
Hello, hello. I'm excited to be here with all of you today. It's such a pleasure and so sweet to see so many familiar faces here and on Zoom, and some that I haven't seen here before. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vienna. I discovered this place about a year or two ago, and when I'm not traveling, it's one of my favorite places to come back and visit. I'm a transpersonal guide and mentor, which means that I work mostly in the realm of spirituality, where that line begins to blur with science. My roots are originally in traditional medicine work and ceremonies, rituals, things of this nature. I've had the immense pleasure over the last 10 years of studying and apprenticing under some really beautiful, powerful indigenous elders from both North and South America. And I'm certified in a modality of spiritual psychology called psychosynthesis. Thank you. And I've been studying this framework for about 6 years now. When I was first invited to speak here about a month or two ago, a sort of clarity washed over me. A really strong pull towards this topic of co-creating with the divine, collaborating with this natural intelligence that flows through all things. And there was no question in my mind as to what the topic of my talk would be today. And as I began to sit with this idea and organize my thoughts and tease it apart for the sake of a 20-minute conversation, something really funny began to happen. This personal truth that I live by and way of walking in the world that is so familiar to me became ever more elusive and challenging to grasp and define in words. The concepts and the step-by-step how-tos that danced so freely in my mind when I first felt the call to talk about this began to escape me in unexpected ways. And I started to struggle to capture the fullness of the essence of what wanted to come through. And so I had a good laugh about this, and I thought, well, isn't that the cosmic joke, right? And sort of this condition of us as humans, that in trying to define the undefinable and trying to capture in words and form that which is infinite and formless, we lose its essence. And its magnitude escapes us. We limit it and chunk it down most of the time with the best intentions. And what happens is that we unintentionally reduce it down to something that at best can only mimic a fraction of the intended idea. And this is how many of us live our lives, is it not? Via the search for joy and connection, flow, purpose, meaning, wholeness. The experience of its presence in this very moment escapes us. The experience of the constant collaboration that is always happening with divine presence escapes us. And it is in our resistance, expectation, and control, in its subtlety, and our perceived woundedness, and our desensitized perception and way of viewing the world, that keeps even the best of us here at times. Pleasure in its fullness cannot be experienced when one is grasping it. To have it, to have life and its pleasure, you must at the same time let go of it. That's a quote by Alan Watts. In my struggle to summarize information and essential keys and how-tos on letting go and stepping into conscious co-creation, I realized that no bit of theory would substitute the power of direct experience, nor would I want it to. Present a magic formula on how to get you there, right? Because if we're being honest, it's in those rich, beautiful, and sometimes agonizing experiences that we find the best of ourselves. It's the journey there. However, there are tools that can aid us along the way. And so rather than attempting to fit the ocean through a straw today, I'd like to introduce what are known in psychosynthesis as the psychological functions. These psychological functions have been called the organs of the mind. There are 6, 7 if you include your will. These include thinking, or the cognitive and logical function, emotion or feeling, sensation, as in bodily sensation, impulse and desire, imagination, and intuition, which tends to speak to us through one or more of our other functions, depending on which is dominant. So why am I sharing this, other than because I think that psychological functions are really super cool and useful? It is because psychological functions are ways in which we absorb and process information from our environment. So from the world, family, society, friends. They are also ways in which we express ourselves back out into the world. So, for example, someone with a strong and healthy thinking function may be a wonderful writer, or perhaps a philosopher. And someone with clear connection to their imagination may find both joy and success as an artist. The gift of these functions goes far beyond processing and expression, though. When we know them well and understand our dominant, non-dominant, and wounded functions intimately, they become allies and channels for communicating with the divine, ways of feeling or intuiting into life. From moment to moment, they become like paths and doorways, leading us back home to right now, this moment. And to understand them a bit more intimately, I'd like to invite us into an exercise that we can do together, all of us, today, right now. So if you will, take a moment to ground yourself and get comfortable in your chair. Those of you at home are included on Zoom as well. And when you're ready, go ahead and soften your gaze or close your eyes. And we're going to begin by taking a deep breath, maybe the deepest one you've taken today. Now try that same breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, taking 3 of those in your own time. When we release out of the mouth, it sends a signal to our nervous system that lets it know it's okay to relax right now. It's okay to relax. During this guided journey, just know that you can come back to your breath at any time to regroup. I invite you now to bring to mind your day, today, exactly as it's been so far. Waking up in the morning, perhaps recalling dreams, the choices that you made, getting out of bed, what to wear, what to eat. And we're going to take a look at your day through the lens of your psychological functions. So as we move through this experience, just notice what emerges naturally for you without forcing any answers. We are simply observing. Let's begin with feeling. What has it felt like to move through your day today? Your morning? What emotions have been present for you? How are you feeling right now? Just notice what's there. And then take a nice deep breath. Exhaling, releasing that awareness. And bringing into awareness your body, your physical body. What has your body been experiencing today? What sensations have been present in your body today? What sensations are present in your body right now? A doorway in for you might be to feel into the temperature of the room. The slight coolness of the air. And if you were to go a layer deeper, what sensations lie there? Beautiful. Again, taking a deep breath, exhaling, relaxing that awareness, letting go, and bringing your attention to your thoughts. What thoughts have you been thinking today? What mental activity has been present? Have you been concerned about any particular topic? Just notice what's there. And notice how your thoughts differ from your emotions. Notice also if and how your thoughts affect your emotions or bodily sensations. What do you feel about what you think? Beautiful. Again, taking a deep breath and relaxing that awareness, releasing all of those thoughts and coming back to a centered space. What role has your imagination played today? Did you have an idea or a vision of how your day would go? What it would look like? How much you would get accomplished? Have you daydreamed today? Or has there been a pull towards a creative project, perhaps? One that you intend to get to later? Just notice your relationship with your imagination today. Taking a deep breath, releasing, and noticing desires now. Have you felt an impulse towards any particular thing today? Maybe it was food this morning, water or coffee. What have you wanted today? What have you wanted today? What do you want right now? And letting go one last time, inhaling in through the nose and exhaling fully. Finally, your intuition. How has your intuition been present today? Has it spoken to you through your body, perhaps, creating tension when something wasn't right? Or perhaps through your emotions, creating excitement about a step or choice that you knew you wanted to make? How does your intuition speak to you? How has it been present today? Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in here, returning to center, whole, grounded, present, arriving back into the room slowly and opening your eyes when you're ready. Welcome back. So I invite us all to just take a moment and stretch after that experience, arriving fully into the room. It's exercises like these that can help us to understand these channels better. They take a bit of effort, but they're quite useful. So I have a few questions for you to consider and just sort of take a mental note for yourself based on this experience that we've just been through. So 4 questions. 1, during the exercise, which was or were the easier functions for you to tap into? Which had a lot of energy around them? No, you just figured that. You can if you'd like.
Imagination.
Imagination.
Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful. Imagination, thinking for a lot of us here in the Western world, right? Which were more challenging to connect to or seemingly had less activity going on? Were there any that you sort of noticed, that didn't really play that big of a role in my day today, or it was harder to connect to? 3rd question, which function tends to create a sense of limitation, stress, anxiety, etc., just on a day-to-day basis? Are there any functions that you find yourself that create a sense of limitation? And the 4th question, at your best, sort of this top of the mountain moment, most connected to divine source, when you are just fully present, what functions are you in? Which functions are activated in those moments? And which functions typically get you there? That you're thinking, your emotion, imagination, creativity. Are you thinking or dreaming? Are you dancing perhaps when you're getting to these places? Just take note. There is no one path to God. And behind every door is a diamond. And in this incredible world where there's so much out of our control, the blessing is choice. And there is a difference between control and choice. We can willingly choose into collaboration and connection with this divine intelligence. Now, knowing which part of us is choosing and affecting or influencing our functions is a topic for a different day. But for now, be kind to yourself and notice what emerges naturally. Be merciful in your criticism and self-judgment. And I'll leave you with a quote before a final song with me and David by Roberto Assagioli, the grandfather of psychosynthesis and one of the grandfathers of transpersonal psychology, along with Maslow. Consider in your exploration that it is through our least dominant function, most often, that many of us find God. Thank you.
Yeah, I kind of want to sit up here.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got one. Oh, we can't. That's okay.
Okay.
Yay. Thank you.
All right. This song is called "The Lime Tree" by Trevor Hall.
Spark a match and watch the candle burn. The wick went off and love takes its turn. Fallen angels and broken sound. We will last past the final bound.
It took a while for you to find me, but I was hiding in the lime tree, above the city and the rain clouds. I poked the hole and watched it drain out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Parallel to these empty streets, a broken crown beneath our feet. But as we walk across the diamonds, we know that love is always shining.
So save me love, save me all the time. I'll wash it down with a simple taste of wine.
Just to taste
All my loved ones, let them know that the stars, well, they still shine. It took a while for you to find me, but I was hiding in the lime tree, above the city and the rain clouds. It took a while for you to find me. I was hiding in the lime tree, above the city and the rain clouds. I poked the hole and watched it drain out.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
The best. All right, one more for Vienna and David.